But as the real power structure is identified more and more, just historically and trending forward into the future, what if you were, one of the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers or one of these big controllers, what would you be doing, or what are you hearing they're planning to do?
I don't know. I mean, you've got. I don't know. I don't hear that they're planning. I don't hear plans. You mentioned about the swine flu, and yeah, I mean that. Last I heard was that they wanted to do injections for a second time. I don't know. My sense is that the population the global population issue is a real problem, and my sense is that we probably need some limits on that. So that may be an area that there's some involvement in.
There you go. See, I was going to do a friendly economic interview because you can bring us a lot to the table, and I don't think you're a bad guy. I mean, but you really you bring up the big hot button issue yourself. You're saying the globalists are involved in population reduction. If I take what you say correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, and that it is a problem for the economy. I mean, we've aborted 50 million of our workforce in the last 35 years in the U.S., so we've brought in 50 million foreigners. I mean...
we brought in the 50 million foreigners, Alex, because we were unwilling to do the work that they're so willing to do. We don't want to actually work. You see, the hard focusing and the willing to soberly look at issues and see things squarely as they are, that's the work that you do. That's the work that I do. But for most Americans, they're too busy taking Paxil, Depakote, Viagra, Advil, and smoking pot all day and medicating themselves with debt to look at what the real issues are.
And they only care about the Super Bowl.
So they go down to Home Depot and they get some Mexicans, or they have Italian restaurants with Mexicans, because Americans are too good to do any work. We're too good for that. We're too good to work hard, apparently.
Well, there is something to what you say, but I see a lot of really hardworking Americans who aren't the lazy Americans who are caught in the middle.
You're pandering to your audience, Alex.
No, I mean, I know a lot of people working 2-3 jobs.
They're working 2 or 3 jobs because they've put together a lifestyle that's unsupportable with mortgage payments that are too high, and now they're trying to support something that's unsupportable. The United States system, as it is unsupportable. And there is not enough debt in the world to keep this beast rolling. As for the population issue, yes, the global population probably does need some regulation. The truth is, we should be regulating it ourselves. It is not right for men to quote unquote procreate and produce 15 to 28 children like they do in Asia.
Yeah, but the average birth's about 4 children in the world. But Damon, I wanted to get you on. But see,
we've got population issues. We've got agriculture issues. We've got health issues, and somebody in some central has to exert some degree of control for a world that is basically in chaos and on the verge of collapse because of our delusion.
Well, see, Damon, here we are, because we've had 2 rambunctious interviews with each other. The first interview, I wasn't too hard on you. We just basically argued with each other the last interview. And I've got you here because I really want to understand the establishment view. And I think it's safe to say you're a member of the establishment. I mean, how much money has your fund managed over the years?
Yeah, that's private information.
But it's a lot.
It's probably a couple of dollars.
Yeah. The point is that you do run in these circles, and every time I am around someone of your caliber, it is the same thing, whether it's at a cocktail party or at the State House or anywhere. It's the same story. They come over and they say, Alex, there are too many people, whether you like it or not. They're a bunch of lazy slobs. There's a disdain for the public. And
no, I don't have a disdain for the public. I have a disdain for the mindset of most people. We need a rebirth, a renewal, an evolution. Really, forget about a renewal. We need to evolve.
Okay.
Mentally, the whole world needs to like click into gear and begin to perceive things differently than they currently do.
All right, well, let me say this and then get your take. Well, look, I have disdain for people who are in debt and who their kids are on drugs and can't read and write. And that's a lot of yuppies, not just poor people, who worship the Super Bowl and buy lottery tickets. And but I know a lot of good people.
That's tough to do, Alex. Okay, good. That's brave, going after the sports folk. Good for you. Okay, I'll go with that. Disdain. I think we should have compassion for them because they're enslaved.
But I mean, let me finish the statement. But just because people are like children, the media, the culture has been geared for that. And I see the CPS, I see the government, I see the secret Homeland Security reports, where their main enemy is the hardworking rural and local business person and the producers. And so I do see red-blooded middle America who are keeping this country afloat being fed on by the elites and by the slob general public. Now, that's a different view, I think, than your overall view, though, because when I said there are a lot of really hardworking, good people out there, you just said, oh, come on, you're pandering. I mean, what are you getting at?
No, you hear, well, no, because when you start talking about America, I do a lot of interviews, and when I start talking like that, then what the host will usually do is start defending his audience, which is the general public, and do that one. Look, you do have people out there that are producers. You do have people that are hardworking, okay? I mean, I'm on vacation right now, but I'm doing this interview. I mean, I'm looking at the ocean. I could be out on the beach right now, but I'm still working. I'm still working with you.
Sure.
Okay. So there are people out there, not that it's me, but there are people out there that are hardworking. Here's the problem. The problem is that there's fewer and fewer of them, and that you've got less and less, quote, producers. You're a producer. I'm a producer. There are people that do run good businesses out there and do run good quality. Look at Apple Computers. I think they're doing a great job. Innovative, good technology, beating the pants off of Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft is sub-basement compared to some of the stuff that Apple's doing. I mean, obviously. But there's fewer and fewer of them. And at the same time, government is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the government is exerting more and more the control and wanting to take more and more from the producers, to a point that it's almost that you're almost disincentivized to do any production whatsoever.
Exactly, and when I look at the ultra elites and their policy reports and what they're doing, they're taking our normal bad traits and force feeding them like a cancer. They want us slovenly. They want us dependent. They want us weak. And so that's my issue. I mean, you're somebody with kind of an elitist or what you call a reality-based perspective.
I don't know. I kind of reject that, Alex. I mean, I don't really get that. I mean, if you're talking about any of these people, I think there's a desire, I think, to positively influence global change. And when we saw pictures in recent weeks of Haiti, our initial response on the Haiti issue is, oh my God, look at the poor, suffering Haiti people. Haiti has been suffering for decades. Their population has grown 50% in the last decade. They're pushing 10 million. They eat mud pies on the streets. Soon they'll be pushing 15 million and 20 million. And if we push it far enough out, and the Haitians are going to be eating each other. And so it's not just Haiti. Haiti could potentially be a lot of what the world looks like. The United States does not feed itself. We're net importers of food. Like Haiti, the United States does not fuel itself. We are net importers of fuel.
Well, Argentina is a good parallel to the U.S.
Okay. Well, we need to be self-supporting and self-sustaining and have structures of.
But that's the issue. When you read what the globalists say, they point out a lot of things you're pointing out, but then all their policies are to make us more dependent.
Well, I don't know. I don't know where I see that. I think most people probably would like to be dependent. Most people are followers. They're not leaders. Any way you shape it out, 80% of the people are going to do next to nothing. 20% of the people are going to do most of the production in any economy. And most people don't think for themselves, and most people just generally are too lazy to think for themselves.
Well, bottom line, where do you see the world in 10 years? I mean, it doesn't look good any way you slice it.
Well, the debt issue is the debt issue is a real problem. The lack of productivity is a real problem. Our focus is a real problem. You know, we need to put money in. We need to overhaul the educational system. I mean, radically, like right away. This is something Obama needs to be doing. We need to slow down, reverse the growth of government, not only in the United States, but also in the Western nations.
Well, that's not happening. Instead, they're going the opposite direction.
We're definitely
so where are we going then with these guys piloting things?
Well, I mean, you're saying they're piloting things. I think it's also the general population, really. We're going to need probably some type of a collapse, I would say, to bring about global change. Because people don't really, we need an evolution of people's minds. We need people's minds to evolve and to change what their priorities are.
And so the right crisis will bring in the New World Order, Damon?